You didn't sign up for this. You didn't pray for the sleepless nights, the season that wouldn't shift, the door that kept closing, or the quiet that made you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. You didn't ask for discomfort, but here you are sitting in the middle of it, wondering if something is wrong with you, wondering if God forgot about you, wondering if becoming is supposed to be this hard. But can I tell you something? It was always supposed to feel like this. Not because God is punishing you, not because you took a misstep or a wrong turn, but because discomfort is not the enemy of becoming. Discomfort is the evidence of it. If you are in a season that is stretching you past what is comfortable, past what feels familiar, and past what feels safe, then this episode is for you. Today, we are talking about discomfort, and not the kind that you push away or brush past. It's not the kind that you pray away either. The kind that you learn to recognize as a divine invitation. Because when you actually understand what discomfort is doing in your life, you stop asking God to remove it and you start asking Him what He's building through it. Let's get into it. Hey sis, welcome to the Bold Becomers podcast. I'm your host, Cara Janae, and this is the space for extraordinary women of faith who love God deeply, but know that there's more alignment, more freedom, and more shine waiting for them. If you're tired of shrinking, self-silencing, or feeling like authenticity and faith are somehow at odds, you're in the right place. Here we unpack godly authenticity, bold becoming, and the shine method so you can realign your value, your voice, and your virtue and live your faith with clarity and courage. So, if you're ready to stop hiding, start aligning, and live like you were made to shine, you're in good company. Grab your journal. Let's talk. Let's dive into today's bold declaration. And as you're listening, feel free to recite it after me, or you can just allow it to sit with you and minister to you wherever you are. Today's bold declaration: discomfort is no fun. And I'll be the first to admit that when I'm experiencing discomfort, my natural instinct is to run, hide, or escape. But here's what I am realizing. As I begin to look at what discomfort has brought to my life, I understand that God doesn't allow discomfort for no reason. I'm starting to see the ways that discomfort has helped me to stretch, to grow, and to become. I would not be who I am today had it not been for the seasons that discomfort pushed me into. As I sit with this, I can boldly declare that I am thankful for the discomfort. Let's make sure to take this bold declaration with us as we move throughout the rest of today's episode and beyond. This episode is going to call for us to keep it real. And I hope that I have your permission to just talk to you for a few minutes from an honest place. You see, most women of faith treat discomfort as a signal that something has gone wrong. We have been conditioned to believe that comfort is something that is parallel with favor, and that discomfort is something that is parallel and connected to failure. But I want to challenge that today, because what we don't realize is that many of us have made peace with things and have tolerated things and even romanticized things that were never God's best for our lives. And we didn't even realize it. You see, scripture consistently shows us that God does some of his deepest work. And as I like to put it, God does his good work in the places and in the spaces that are uncomfortable: the wilderness, the fire, the valley, the waiting room. And so if we are encountering discomfort, but then equating it to something that is not helpful to us or as something that we need to escape, we may be trying to bypass the process that is actually going to produce the fruit and the goodness that God really has waiting on us. So when we misread discomfort, we resist the very process that is designed to grow us. We normalize what God is trying to move us out of. And we only wake up when the discomfort becomes so intolerable that we realize awakening is required. We shrink back, we stall out, or we spiritually bypass the hard thing instead of moving through it. And as a result, we stay safe, but we stay stuck. And our becoming gets delayed. By the end of this episode, you'll have a new framework for how to read your discomfort. You'll be able to discern the message that discomfort is trying to send you. And finally, you'll leave with practical ways to stay in the process instead of running from it. It's time for our Shine Method connection. For those of you who may be new to the Bold Becomers podcast, the Shine Method connection is the segment of our podcast where we get to dive into my proprietary framework called the Shine Method. The Shine Method is an acronym. The S stands for Seek the Truth, the H for Honor Your Story, the I for Include the Lessons, the N for Navigate Your Growth, and the E for Embrace and Express. The Shine Method is my proprietary framework that I use to help extraordinary women of faith just like yourself to move from the background behavior that they may be dealing with and to step into the forefront of their lives. And I am so excited to share that today we're going to get a chance to walk through every step of the Shine Method. So sit back. For S, seek the truth. The truth is that discomfort is not the absence of God's presence. It is often the evidence of it. Because what we have to understand is that God loves us too much to allow us to stay in foolishness. He loves us too much to allow us to stay in things that are beneath what He has destined for us. And we have to start learning how to challenge the lie that ease equals alignment. Here's a truth that you need to start seeking. What has become normal in my life that God never intended? And then ask, what is the discomfort revealing that comfort was hiding? For Honor Your Story, your history with hard seasons are not a wound to hide. It is a witness to what you overcame. There were things that you made peace with in the past, things that you tolerated, even romanticized. And now it's time to honor the moment when you finally couldn't take it anymore. That intolerable moment was not your worst and lowest point. It was your turning point. Honoring your story means acknowledging that I was uncomfortable and I kept becoming anyway. For Include the Lessons, discomfort always carries a lesson, but only for those who stay long enough to actually receive it. What did the hard season teach you about your strength, your faith, your capacity? The awakening that discomfort produced led to seeking, and seeking led to transformation. And when you realize that, you understand that discomfort isn't working against you, it starts to work for you. Including the lessons means discomfort was never wasted. For Navigate Your Growth, growth is not accidental, it is navigated. It's one intentional step at a time through the uncomfortable places. Another thing you have to consider as you navigate your growth is that becoming is a journey and it is iterative. It is not linear and it can even have concurrent elements, and that is okay. God will always keep sending the message through life situations until you respond affirmatively. And finally, for this piece, I want you to understand that discomfort is often the terrain of the next level, not a detour away from it. For Embrace and Express, embracing discomfort is not the same as enjoying it. It's trusting that it is producing good fruit in your life. and knowing that God would not allow you to encounter something that was going to be to your detriment. And when you really posture yourself in a place of belief that all things are working together for good, you can start to see that discomfort plays a role in that. When you stop hiding from the process and you start expressing it, you give others permission to stay in theirs. Your discomfort is voiced out loud, and that also becomes someone else's lifeline. Embracing where you are is not settling. It's the starting point for where you're going. Learning to embrace discomfort in my own journey has helped me to see that God has strategically ordered my steps, even when I didn't realize that's what was happening. As I look back on seasons of my life where I became so uncomfortable that I knew I needed to do something different, I realized that I would not have moved had it not been for the discomfort of that situation. I would not have started to actually seek and explore and to learn to look for the truth of what was going on and what God was saying to me throughout that discomfort had I not gotten to the place where I was uncomfortable and I could not tolerate it anymore. And I know that it may feel like this is counterintuitive to say that I'm going to embrace discomfort and that's going to help me. I understand that. But what I also know is this, that if you can learn to embrace discomfort, it will help you to accelerate and notice the things that God is doing in you and how he's maturing you, how he's expanding you, how he's helping you to grow as you learn to embrace the discomfort. And realizing that greatness is never a byproduct of complacency and comfort. And so, if that is the case, that means that discomfort has to be producing some greatness in you and something great for you at the end of it all. I hope that's encouragement to you today. I want to invite you to something special. The Live with Shine Collective is my online community for women of faith who are serious about their becoming journey. It's a space where you don't have to have it figured out, and you definitely don't have to figure it out alone. It's a place where you can show up in real time, ask real questions, and walk through real transformation with other women of faith who get it. And right now, for a limited time, founding members can join and get 20% off their first year using a special code. It's the word SHINE in all caps. That's capital SHINE. All caps, y'all, at checkout. So you can go to livewithshine.com and get started. I would love to see you inside the collective. It is one of my favorite places to be, and I think it will become one of yours too. Here are some practical applications for how to embrace discomfort. Number one, name it, don't numb it. It's important to identify what you're actually uncomfortable about. Vague discomfort stays vague, but when you start to name the discomfort, it becomes workable. You can start asking questions and start exploring, and that's going to lead you down the path that is going to help you to become. Number two, audit what you've normalized. Number two, audit what you've normalized. Ask yourself honestly, what have I made peace with, tolerated, or romanticized that may not reflect God's best for me? That's the thing that discomfort is trying to move you out of. Number three, sit with the question. Instead of God, remove this, try God, what are you revealing or building here? And give yourself permission to not have the answer immediately and trust that God is going to reveal it to you as you go. Number four, look for the pattern. Has this type of discomfort ever showed up before? And what did it produce for you the last time? Let your history inform your faith and trust and believe that if you got through it the last time, you can get through this again. Number five, stay in community. This is a big one, y'all, because isolation makes discomfort feel like punishment. And being witnessed in your process changes the narrative. As you walk in community or in partnership or even companionship, as you're journeying through the discomfort, it changes it from something that you're just forbearing to something that you are learning to triumph through in real time. Number 6, document the becoming. It is so important for you to learn to journal, to write voice memos, prayer notes. Sometimes I even put notes in my phone just to capture what is shifting in you so you don't miss the transformation that is happening in real time. And I love being able to go back and to see the lessons that I learned along the way and how it's helped to shape who I am right now and how I'm carrying those same lessons forward. And I know that if you do the same, it will be a blessing to you too. If the Bold Becomers podcast has encouraged you on your journey, I'd love to ask you for a favor. Leaving a quick review helps this message reach other women of faith who are ready to step into who God created them to be. It only takes a moment, and I'm so grateful for your support. It's time for our challenge of the week. This week, I want you to identify one area of discomfort that you've been trying to avoid, numb, or even tried praying away. And I want you to write down an honest answer to this question. What might God be revealing or building in me through this? And then I want you to take one bold step by sharing it in community. You can tag me on social or you can DM me on Instagram at @CaraJanaeShine. I would love to hear your responses to this because your becoming is worth being seen and celebrated. And I'm here to do that with you. Remember, discomfort is not a detour. It is the path. And I need you to know that even as you're going through your discomfort, you're not behind. You are being built in the process. God will keep sending you the message until you respond. And this episode might be that message, sis. So remember to thank God for the stretch, the silence, the season that didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. Because on the other side of every uncomfortable thing is a version of you that couldn't have existed without it. And here's the kicker: both becomers don't avoid the process, they trust the one who designed it. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for being a part of this amazing community of women of faith who are committed to their becoming, committed to their godly authenticity. Listen, if this was a blessing to you, I need you guys to do me a favor. Make sure that you share this episode with someone else. Feel free to tag a sister who you feel like could use this in their time of discomfort. And most importantly, make sure that you subscribe, that you follow the Bold Becomers podcast, and even follow us over on YouTube at @CaraJanaeShine so that you can stay informed and stay up to date on all of the things that we share here that are designed to help you on your becoming journey. And finally, if this episode stirred something up in you and you know that you are in a season of discomfort, a season of transition, and you want to be a little bit more intentional about the way that you go through, I want to invite you to join our next journey for Abide and Arise. It is our 21-day prayer journey, and it is centered around the theme realign. This is a prayer journey for women who are ready to respond to the stirring that they feel in their spirit. Our next session for the prayer journey begins on May 18th, and you can sign up by going to carajanaeshine.com/realign. And this will allow you to sign up so that you can be a part of our next prayer journey. It is such an amazing experience, and the women from the last session had such wonderful things to say and such wonderful feedback. And so I would love for you to be a part of this. I know it will be a blessing to your journey and to help you to navigate these seasons of discomfort. And finally, for those of you that stuck around to the end, I just want to remind you to stay committed to the process. Know that God is not done with you, that He's intentional about you, and everything that He brings to your life is meant to be a blessing to you. You just have to see it through and keep walking in faith and expectation, believing that what you are seeing is the process of fruit being produced in your life. And until next time, keep becoming, embrace godly authenticity, and live with shine. I'll see you in the next episode.